There's all this pressure to hit 500 connection requests super easy on LinkedIn or get a bunch of followers on LinkedIn and yada, yada, yada. But ultimately, those followers and those connections will do nothing for you if you don't have any relationship with the people who you're connecting with and the people who are following you. The goal is to build a network that is going to have value and that is going to be able to deliver something to you or for you. Welcome back to the official Thompson Resume Writing Company YouTube channel, where I share weekly tips and hints on how to update, refresh, and or prepare your resume and LinkedIn profile for your job search, along with some career advice, some job search tips, and some personal stories of my own. I am Tamika Thompson. I am the owner and resume writer at Thompson Resume Writing Company, and I specialize in transforming bland, lackluster resumes and LinkedIn profiles into powerful selling tools that help corporate mid-level, management, and executive professionals land interviews 2 times faster. If you are new to my channel, welcome, and I'm so happy that the algorithm, for whatever reason, showed little old me's video in your timeline and that you decided to click on it and check out this video. I hope that you like it enough to go ahead and hit the subscribe button below to be a part of my YouTube community. If you are a returning subscriber or a returning viewer, thank you so much for continuing to show my content some love. Thank you all for sharing the links to the videos, encouraging other people to sign up to it, giving me those thumbs up. It does not go unappreciated, like for real. So for today's video, we are going to be talking about LinkedIn connection requests. So I'm going to be telling you who you should and can send a LinkedIn connection request to grow your network organically. Heavy on the word organically. Let's get right into it. So you've got your LinkedIn profile all set up, right? You have this amazing, polished, professional profile photo, you have a banner image, you have a compelling headline that's going to make somebody want to click on your profile, you have all of the LinkedIn sections filled out. So you have your experience section, you have a really good, captivating about me summary, you have your skill listed, all of that good stuff. So your profile is at a 100% all-star ranking. But now, how do you start growing your network? Who do you send connection requests to? Who should you be accepting connection requests from? Not everybody and their mama, that is for sure. Now, I see a lot of posts on LinkedIn where it's like, oh, let's grow together, connect with, whoever's in the comments. I mean, you can do that. It's a great way to meet new people, but essentially you want your network, your LinkedIn network, to have lots of quality people who you have built relationships with, or people who can vouch for you, or people who you can use as a resource going forward. There's all this pressure to hit 500 connection requests super easy on LinkedIn or get a bunch of followers on LinkedIn and yada, yada, yada. But ultimately, those followers and those connections will do nothing for you if you don't have any relationship with the people who you're connecting with and the people who are following you. The goal is to build a network that is going to have value and that is going to be able to deliver something to you or for you. So if you are just getting started on LinkedIn, or maybe you have had your profile for a while but you're not really sure where to get started in terms of growing it, I have some tips for you. So without further ado, here are some people who you should absolutely positively be sending LinkedIn connection requests to once you get started on LinkedIn to start growing your network. Here we go. Number 1 on this list is your current coworkers and your current team members. So think people who you work with directly, either every single day or at least a couple of times throughout the week. If you are on, let's say, a social media team, and your team consists of a social media manager who's at the top, and you are the social media specialist, but you also have like a social media coordinator, maybe you have a content marketing coordinator, and maybe you have like a graphics or an image person, go ahead and connect with every single person on LinkedIn who is on your team and who you work with either every single day or at least a couple of days a week. Because 9 times out of 10, these people, because you work so closely with them, are more than likely going to be the first group of people that you reach out to if you need some sort of a recommendation or maybe a referral, or you want to use them as a reference. And if you have a large team, that can be an easy way to gain like 10 to 12 or more connections at once if they have a LinkedIn profile. And it does look good on LinkedIn if someone can see that you are connected to your team member. So it may show that you you all have a really good working relationship and that you all have a close relationship, at least enough to be connected on LinkedIn. So again, with your current team members, go ahead and send them all LinkedIn connection requests. Ask them if they have a LinkedIn profile, and if they do, go ahead and just type their names in the search bar. If you should have no problem pulling it up, go ahead and click their name and go ahead and click the connect button. Number 2 on this list is classmates and alumni. So in school, if you have maybe 6 or 7 classes and there are maybe 15 to 20 people in the class, and maybe you either know them all or you have good relationships with all of them, or you have relationships with some people who have graduated, go ahead and send them connection requests. So I am really big on connecting with other alumni. I went to Lewis University, go Flyers, and our alumni network just loves connecting with other Lewis graduates. And most schools and alumni at other schools also feel the same way. So if you have a really strong alumni network group or an alumni resource group at your school, feel free to just kind of type in your school's name, and don't be shy or don't be afraid to send out connection requests to the people who come up, who may be in the same industry as you, or who maybe have a similar title as you, or maybe they're in an industry that you are looking to get into. And with your classmates, if you're in a master's program right now, or if you're in school full-time right now, feel free to connect with all of your classmates, especially the ones who you have a good relationship with. And this can include people who you've worked with on certain projects, research projects, presentations, and all of that good stuff. Number 3 is professors, teachers, and instructors. So similar to how you would send a connection request to classmates and alumni, you can also connect with your professors and your teachers. If you maybe took a one-day workshop or a one-day masterclass, or maybe you attended a webinar, feel free to connect with the person who led the presentation or who delivered the presentation, like the speaker. I have people do this for me all the time, and I do not mind. I love it, especially if they have like a personalized connection request, like a message that says, "Hey Tamika, would love to connect. Really enjoy your presentation on how to create a winning resume. Looking forward to, building a relationship on LinkedIn," or something like that. But feel free to connect with your teachers, your instructors, and people who maybe teach one-day classes, one-day webinars, one-day master classes, and things like that. Especially if you had a chance to have a conversation with them after the presentation or after the webinar. If you and your professor have a good relationship, maybe he tutors you or he has helped you significantly in the class as far as performance and just doing well, and you've built a really good rapport with your teacher, go ahead and send them a connection request. Absolutely. Number 4 is your friends. So if your friends have LinkedIn profiles, automatically your BFF, your bestie, your ride or die, your day ones, if they have a LinkedIn profile, go ahead and send them a connection request, and those can be the first group of people who you reach out to for a LinkedIn recommendation, or have them submit a LinkedIn recommendation for you. Number 5 is people who may be in the same professional organization or the same professional associations as you. So I'll use myself as an example. I am a part of the American Marketing Association, and from attending virtual webinars and virtual events, and sometimes even in-person events, there are people that I have met in that group at certain chapter events. And so naturally, I am going to send them a LinkedIn connection request, and sometimes this allows me to learn more about them and their background in marketing, and it actually steers future conversations. So one person in particular, I remember meeting her at a networking event, and we didn't get a chance to do too much talking, but because when you're networking, you're just trying to meet as many people as possible. But I jotted down her name, found her on LinkedIn, and found out that she had been in the space for 8 years. And so I was able to message her and say, "Hey, so-and-so, do you have any tips for continuing to grow in the marketing space?" and yada, yada, yada. So if you are in, maybe, there's a project management professional association, or I know with human resources, there's SHRM, and in the resume writing space, there is the NCRW. So if you are in a professional association, you have a professional membership, you can send LinkedIn connection requests to other members, either if you know them, or sometimes if you don't and maybe you want to get to know them. So again, you can do a LinkedIn search, see who pops up, or if you're in a group, like an online group, I know the American Marketing Association does have a LinkedIn group, and so whoever comments in the group, if I see someone who maybe catches my eye or their headline catches my eye, I go to their profile, I like what I see, I simply send a connection request, and you should do the same. Number 6 is people who you meet at professional networking events. So I kind of gave this one away in the last tip that I just gave you guys, but if you go to mixers or networking events, meet and greets, maybe if you any professional event where it's like it's a networking event and you meet people, you collect business cards, you're taking down names, feel free to send those people a connection request to grow your network as well. And maybe it can help further the relationship if you take a look at their profile and you get to learn more about them. It can lead to you asking certain questions and just being able to get to know them better and start establishing that relationship. Number 7 is your family members. So your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your auntie, whomever, if your family members have a LinkedIn profile, you can absolutely send them a connection request. Especially if you have a large family or you have a lot of people in your family, that can be a super quick, easy way to connect with or to get 20 new connections right away. Number 8 is for my entrepreneurs and my small business owners. So you can send connection requests to your customers and your clients. This is something that I do all the time, especially if I set up this person's LinkedIn profile. Oftentimes I'm like the very first connection that they'll have, but when I get inquiries and when I get leads and especially project or proposal requests on LinkedIn, I do send LinkedIn connection requests directly to the person who has sent it, because if we're going to be working together, obviously I want to connect with you, and it eliminates the need for either of us to use our LinkedIn email credits if we're already connected. So that is something that I do. I also send connection requests to past clients and so on and so forth. So for my service-based entrepreneurs, especially if you are a coach or you are a consultant or you are a service provider, definitely do send LinkedIn requests to your clients and your customers, and even sometimes leads that may come through LinkedIn. Number 9 on this list is coaches and mentors. So if you have a professional coach or a mentor who has really helped steer you through your career, or several different mentors or coaches who have steered you through your career and they have a LinkedIn profile, you definitely want to connect with them and also see if you can get a LinkedIn recommendation from them, and they can list or say some really kind words about you and how they've witnessed you grow over the years, etc., etc. Number 10 on this list is business besties and business associates. So in the resume writing space, I have a really big network of resume writers, career coaches, job search strategists, all of that good stuff. And I want to say probably like a quarter of my network is just all people who I've connected with as a result of us being in the same business, or maybe we worked together on a project, or maybe we just ended up connecting because I liked their content and we ended up doing maybe like a Q&A, or like we, learned from one another and things like that. So if you have business besties or business BFFs or other business associates who are in the same field as you, or who you have built a strong relationship with, you can absolutely go ahead and send them a LinkedIn connection request. Number 11 on this list are recruiters and HR managers. So in a previous video that I shared to my channel, I talked about different ways that you can leverage the power of LinkedIn during your job search. So if you are currently interviewing with someone, either the recruiter, maybe you're just getting started in the hiring process, or maybe you already have a meeting scheduled with the hiring manager, you should absolutely go ahead and send them a LinkedIn connection request. Even if you don't get the job, you never know how building that relationship or connecting with them can actually yield something over time. Like, you may not get the job, but maybe you stay up to date with their posts, or you stay in tune with their posts, and if another position becomes available, maybe they post it on LinkedIn and you can message them right away and kind of refresh their memory, say, hey, so-and-so, I know I didn't get this job, but I saw that you just posted about this and I'm still really interested, and so on and so forth. And in the interviewing process, it just shows initiative and it shows that you're genuinely interested if you send them a request and if you take a look at their profile. So doing both. Last on this list is future team members. So maybe you have already accepted an offer, you've gotten the offer, and you'll be starting in 2 weeks or so. Maybe you interviewed with some people who you will already be working with, so you completed that team interview. Go ahead and send your future team members or your future coworkers a LinkedIn request. Now, this was something that I did right before I started my new job. As soon as I got wind that I had been selected and I went ahead and accepted the offer, I instantly sent LinkedIn connection request to all of my teammates and my manager and let them know, like, I'm so excited, I'm looking forward to working with you, I can't wait to get started, etc. So if you've just gotten a job and you already know who some of your team members or your coworkers will be, do not hesitate to send them a LinkedIn connection request. So those are 12 people who you can send a LinkedIn connection request to. So if you've been stumped on who should I send a LinkedIn connection request to, who should I, accept a LinkedIn connection request from, those are some examples. And those are just a few. There are plenty more people who you can send LinkedIn connections requests to, but these people are where you should start. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please go ahead and give me a like. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up button below. If you need assistance with your LinkedIn, as far as growing your LinkedIn or maybe revamping your profile, feel free to reach out to me. I am accepting LinkedIn clients for the month of May. You can email me directly at hello@thompsonresumes.com, and you can also visit my website at www.thompsonresumes.com. And I would like to encourage you to please subscribe to my Tamika's Career Tea email newsletter list, where I share weekly resume, job search, LinkedIn, career tips, and hacks. I have the link in the description box below for you to go ahead and subscribe. And you can also connect with me on LinkedIn. My profile name is Tamika Thompson, and feel free to follow me on Instagram as well @_Mika Thompson. Again, if you made it to the end of this video, thanks so much for watching. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you are not subscribed, and I will see you all next week with another helpful video. Bye!